been me. How did it come to this? What happened to the kid I once was? I thought. Mission Impossible. The newborn baby is a persuasion machine. There's no other way of putting it. The ability of the neonate to impose its will on others, to get its own way, to twist us round its tiny little fingers, is second to none. It has the techniques of social influence down to a fine art. The human response to infants is pretty much universal across any demographic you may care to mention. Culture, age, sex, you name it. The reaction is almost identical. Take age. Studies have shown that infants as young as 4 months look longer at pictures of infant faces than they do at those of older children or adults, and that by 18 months this preference for infant faces is accompanied not only by increased smiling, but by gesturing and vocalizing too. More surprising still, perhaps, is that this doesn't just happen in humans. From the age of about 2 months on, rhesus monkeys, reared in isolation, show a similar preference for pictures depicting infant monkeys over those depicting adult monkeys. The appeal of the neonate is set in neural stone. These perceptual biases lurk deep within the brain. Research conducted by neuroscientist Morten Kringelbach at the University of Oxford reveals that when pictures of newborns are viewed under MEG, magnetoencephalography, an imaging technique that monitors brain activation in milliseconds, the area of the brain that encodes for rewarding stimuli, the medial orbitofrontal cortex, responds almost immediately, within 1/7 of a second of the image's first appearing. Our brains, says Kringelbach, have a built-in propensity to tag infant faces as special. Precisely why the newborn should be so persuasive is not exactly rocket science. Like many things in life, it essentially boils down to marketing. Chimpanzee babies fuss, seagull chicks squawk, burying beetle larvae tap their parents' legs. Throughout the animal kingdom, newborns display a consummate knack for engaging their parents' attention, exhibiting an eclectic array of ingenious key stimuli to elicit nurturance and inhibit adult aggression. Such advertising is of the utmost importance. There was a time, not that we remember it too well, when each of us, alone and without backup, first showed up for life. It was a pretty risky manoeuvre. Consider the enormity of the initial challenge that faced us. Somehow, from the very first moment we came into this world, we had to influence those around us, without thought, without language, without control of even the most basic of bodily functions, to take care of us. Somehow, we had to persuade them it was worth it. Nowadays, of course, we take all this for granted, because we made it. Not, I should add, through any recourse of our own. If we had had anything to do with it, who knows what might have happened, but through the genius of natural selection. Through power of biological attorney, natural selection saw us on our way, equipping us not just with one key attribute, the ability to raise hell, but with three. 3 key stimuli of social influence, fitted as standard, we find tantalizingly irresistible. The ability to cry with brilliant acoustical efficiency, a devilish cuteness, which, for those fortunate enough to hang on to it, also works in later life as well, and a hypnotic capacity to make eye contact. Persuasion, no matter what its shape or form, comes no more incisive than that. In this chapter, we continue our quest for the origins of social influence, the primeval lineage of changing the minds of others, by looking a little more closely at these 3 key stimuli of neonatal influence. What precisely is it about crying that makes it so special? And what are the features of newborn infant faces that cast such a spell on us? Wired for sound. Instant influence isn't something we come across all that often in the sphere of human interaction. We saw as much in the previous chapter. With us, unlike animals,